Hey everybody, welcome to the Invisible LFO. My name is James, and I wanted to talk to you a little bit today about my most recent track, Somnambulation, and kind of take you through each piece of my rack, tell you what I did, how I did it. Of course, we'll go through the Euro rack, the Moog Sound Studio, the MC101, the Synth, and of course, if there's something that you want to see that I didn't get a chance to go over, please let me know in the comments. I'm always willing to change things up. Like I said last time, well, we're always willing to change here. So let's go ahead and get started. Alright, so looking at the Euro rack. So this time I did a lot of modulation on, especially on grids. I did have some modulation on Nautilus. I ended up not actually even using Nautilus for this track, even though I had it patched up. I didn't like the way it sounded. It did add that character that I always talk about, but with all the modulation I was having from the Neo Trinity going into grids, as well as Rainer, I don't think it really needed it. And plus, I've noticed something with the Nautilus that I don't particularly like, that when you have the mix turned up, it actually takes out some of that volume on the drums. So I didn't really like that so much, so I ended up not using it. But anyways, let's take a look. So on the Neo Trinity, again, I have all of the tracks on the grids, channels rather, channel 1, 2, and 3, modulated here. And what's great about the Neo Trinity, what I really love, why I really bought it, is that you can control that modulation. You can turn it on, you can off with the mutes, you can adjust it, and you can record it. So you can get exactly that turn, that modulation that you really are looking for. If you can't figure it out with an LFO or can't really emulate it, you can really design it to your specifications with the Neo Trinity, and that's why I love it so much. So that's what I did here. Not so much moving it around so much, but really setting it at a specific point. So I really had all of these turned up a good deal. So actually, let's listen to those. So this is just the normal sound. And then with the mutes, you get that snare going. Get that hi-hat. And you have all three of them going like that. And you can really create these neat drum tracks using this. And that's kind of what I did off and on towards there. I mentioned last time that, the workflow in this setup that I've got here is not the best. Like I said, I have to move all the way over here to, do things on the Cobalt, the Synth, the MC101, and then come back all the way over here to do things on the Euro rack and the Moog. But really, I may do. And the Rainier modulating the chaos on grids really helped out with that too. Kind of gave it that variation. So it wasn't just that strict, that same old beat going on every single time. So yeah. So let me actually show you what I meant with the Nautilus, how it kind of drops out that volume. Not by a whole lot, but just a little bit. Enough to make a difference in a track that really needed those drums. I feel like it needed them myself, but here we have the drums as they are normally. Here we have the Nautilus. It kind of gives it that double time kind of feel, and that's kind of what I wanted during parts of the chorus. I guess I'll call it, where I go into like a major key. But I just noticed when I use it, you just lose some of that volume, and you lose some of that I don't know, that punch. So I really decided against using it for that. So yeah, it's kind of one of those things, may have been a good idea at the time, but just didn't end up working out. Something else I also did, I modulated the depth on the module as well. So you can hear it here, because I also wanted to incorporate that, but it just didn't end up working. Real subtle stuff. Like I said, it's the subtle things that make the character. And I wish it would have worked out. I'm not sure how to really solve that without messing up the volume here, because if I turn up the volume when I have the Nautilus on, this is going to be super loud and it's going to be overpowering. So I don't know, it's just kind of one of those things. But moving on from here, I have this sound, which is actually a tambourine that's been pitched way down, and I love using this tambourine, and it's just one of the first things I sampled, so it's got a little bit of a sweet spot in my heart for it. So I ended up using Pam's Pro Workout to sequence that. Let me see if I can show that to you here. Maybe it won't be so. Let's see, that's track 3 here. So, of course, I have that set to 4x speed and Euclidean steps. Here we go. So I have 6 steps set at 16, or I guess 16 steps with only 6 triggers, and just have that repeating. Not too much going on there. Real easy stuff, and I have that going on throughout the entire track. And then I have these samples. Now I got these samples off of the Cobalt, so I'm not going to really talk about the Cobalt too much here. I did use it a lot for these pads and then for this ARP going on, but really I just kind of sampled it in the computer, put it on a bitbox, did it like that. Didn't want to be messing around too much with the Cobalt aside from what I actually do when I'm playing it. So just to listen to those, using an analog sounding preset here. Didn't really create any sounds here, just used presets. And then here I have these pads, which is the same preset that I use to kind of solo out and make a little bit of melody sounds. So I have these being triggered by the Synth. So not too much else is going on with those. Let me think. Is there anything else going on the pad? Not too much going on the pad. As far as the rack is concerned, I do have the Mother 32 being, it's getting this effect state, so it's really just getting some distortion. And here, let me see if I can show that to you here. So this is the original sound of the Mother 32. Kind of just like a normal sound, normal Mother 32 sound. It's that Moog sound or Moog. I don't know. I don't care. You tell me. How do you say it? Anyways, giving it that distortion. I like the way that distorted sound kind of brings it out in the track. Anyways, let's actually move it over to the Moog, and then we can take a look at what's going on over there. All right, so for the Moog again, tell me what you like in the comments. I'm going to do what I do. So I have the DFAM really supplementing the sounds on the Mother 32. I have both of the oscillators coming out and giving it a little bit more. So let's listen to that. So I have both VCOs coming out into the mix right here. So this is just the regular Mother 32 all by itself. And this is the DFAM. I'm gonna mix those together. There we go. So, not a whole lot going on here. This patch I got it from the Moog Sound Library. It's on YouTube, and I really recommend it because a lot of things that I feel like if you're a beginner working with these semi-modular instruments, especially these Moogs, the Sound Studios in particular, they are so valuable, a wealth of information. It really gets your mind thinking about how these instruments work and how you can use them, and how you can kind of create your own patches, create your own way of doing things, and It's like I said, it's great. I really encourage anyone who's got one of these semi-modular instruments to go and check it out and just go through them and kind of see which ones you like. When I first got this, I pretty much went through all of them and just recreated all the patches, you know, one by ones, and just kind of played with them from there. And yeah, it's just such a great way to learn the instrument, and you just got to get in there and got to start doing it. So. Again, with this patch, not too much else going on. I guess let's go ahead and move to the MC101. Alright, so for the MC101, I used it mostly as a just a means to get the piano out there. And I am sequencing all of that through the Synth. So there's not going to be too much to show on the MC101, but let's go ahead and take a look. Alright, so over here on the MC101, again, just using these 3 tracks for some piano sounds. So let's go ahead and listen to that. So I have all 3 of these. So this warm Vox piano, and I just love this sound. This very synthy sound where it's a piano, it's a synth, it's kind of this middle part, it's kind of a little bit of a choral sound. It's just a great sound. I really love the way it sounds here. There we go. And have this little thing going on in the background. So it's just really, oh, interesting. I've got something else going on back there. And then this piano roll, that little run right there, kind of birthed from this. It was a dentist visit actually. So let me kind of tell you about that. Man, that's that weird sound, huh? I must have accidentally hit some notes there that I wasn't supposed to. Huh? Interesting. I didn't know that. Anyways, so the dentist visit. So I'm sure, like most of you, you know, you go to the dentist, you go to the doctor, you're going to be waiting there a long time, and I've been really working on trying to be as productive as possible with all of my time. Even the time I'm sitting down waiting to get something done, you know, DMV, dentist, doctor's office, things like that, where you're just sitting there, you're scrolling on your phone, wasting time. So what I tried to do instead, and what I've been trying to do, is really being intentional with that time and really thinking, what can I do with my music? What can I add? What can I create? And so a lot of this, or I guess half of this track is a product of that little piano roll, that descending piano riff there was a result of sitting there kind of thinking about what I wanted to do. You know, I have it in my notes, you know, I wanted to create a descending 4-note, 4-octave descending line during a chorus part, and then I decided during that chorus it was going to be a major, relative major of the A minor. Here it is. There's that note. That's gonna bug me. Just a real simple, like, kind of four chord progression, and I wanted to have that for a few times, and then have that piano roll come in on I believe it's the F. Here it is. No, it's right here. Yeah, it's really pretty, but I wanted to have that, and then I think I had in my notes of, you know, how the structure of the song, how I wanted to do that. But really, you know, being intentional with your time is going to be you know, great just to be productive in your music. And you know, it can't always be a very sit down and kind of everything spontaneous type of thing. You know, you should be intentional. You should have ideas. Should think about it a little bit to figure out what do you want to do. You know, what do you want that song or that piece to be. But anyway, enough about that. Enough about the MC 101. Let's go ahead and move over to the Synth. Alright, so the Synth. So again, it's the brains of the organization. It's what I use to sequence pretty much everything going on in the system. Then of course, I have the beats going on the bitbox. But let's kind of get rid of all the drums, and it really is just the few tracks here. So I've got these 3, 5, 6, and 7 that are sequencing the piano on the MC101, and I have these 2 that are triggering the pads and the arp on the bitbox. Nothing else really happening going on here. Not too much else going on there. So yeah, I guess that's about it. Let me know if there's anything more. I guess we can talk a little bit about song mode here. So song mode really actually came in handy. So let me show you what I've got on song mode here. So I'm just going back and forth between these two, 12 and 13, those 2 tracks. And then for the chorus, here we go. Going back and forth between 14 and 15. And then really sticking around those 12 and 13. And then I do make a jump. You'll see me change the song mid-song. It doesn't sound like actually anything is happening. Any song is actually changing, and that's because what I do is I'm switching it to a song where, let me show you, it's just 12 and 13 going back and forth, because I didn't want that major progression to go on for too long. You know, I didn't want to have it to continue to repeat when I really just wanted this as kind of like who's going to fade away to this section of the song. So you'll see me go from this portion of the song mode to the other one where it has that major progression in it, and then back to this one where it's just the minor section of the song. So I use this to fade in and to fade out on, and it ended up working out pretty good. I had no idea that you could switch songs in the middle of other songs. I didn't know it would queue up like that. So that ended up working out great. I was super excited when I found that out. But yeah, I think that's about it with the Synth. So let's go ahead and boom, turn that, and then that's all of it. That's everything. The only other thing that I guess I can mention is the Cobalt. Now I'm not going to show you like last time how I did on the Modal app, which if you have a Cobalt 8, of course you're using the Modal app, and it's such a great tool. I wish most instruments had something like that. But the reason I'm not going to show you too much is because I just used presets. I used the Life of Kai preset for this pad. And it sounds great. It's a good swelling sound. And then I did use the, what's it called? It was called Analog Tides. And that's how I got this that sound with the I just took those sounds and I sampled them into the bitbox, and then I just have them triggered by the Synth. So, you know, nothing too complicated there, but really, yeah, that's why I'm not going over the Cobalt too much, because I was just using presets on that. The one thing I will say though on the Life of Kai is I did modify it just a bit, and I turned down the attack so where it was a little bit more plucky. You're going to get to it instead of that long, drawn-out attack. And then I think I brought down the release a little bit, so it kind of cuts it off. With the pads that I used for the track, though, I did leave it completely alone. It was just the preset, the way it was brought into the machine. So that was not modified. The only reason I modified it was because when I was playing it, when I was doing those little melodic parts, it wasn't working out right with that long attack and then the long release. So I wanted something a little bit more direct. So that's why I ended up doing it that way. But yeah, again, that was the whole breakdown of what I did. Again, if there was something that I missed, something that you wanted to know about, something, anything like that, let me know in the comments. Again, I'm always willing to learn from you, so if you have any feedback, please let me know. A big part of how I'm doing things now is a result of some feedback that I received. I believe someone had told me that they had they wanted to see a little bit more about what I was doing. So that's why we have the new camera angles and a more direct look at the actual system. So I don't have your username, but whoever you are, thank you very much for that feedback. I really appreciate it. And you know, if you have any more, of course, keep it coming. So yeah, anyways, this is the Invisible LFO. My name is James. You have a good one.